So you've done the self-help and you've dipped into some personal development, but now you ask the question, now what? What can you do? Well, if you want to escape the apathy, step right this way. So twice a year, I teach a course called Autonomy. It's a 12-week personal development and training course. What people get out of it is multifaceted. There's curriculum, there's exercises, there's camaraderie, you make new friends. There's a whole lot of interesting things. We're going to hear a sample from the course right now, and let's take a look at the value these students are getting.
The only thing that seems to be going right for me is autonomy. So I've just started this journey, and already it's amazing. And I can sometimes wear out things quickly. New things I start, and I've been mindful of that and fearful that, oh, this is just a novelty that's going to wear out. But I don't think it is, because I just love the fact that I keep being challenged, and there's so much I'm discovering I don't know. And I know that whatever effort I put in, I should be able to get out. So I love that fact. So thank you so much for everything so far. And this is going to be a fantastic journey. Thank you.
So what do you think it's going to take for you to maintain focus and not get distracted and find some bright and shiny thing in the next 12 weeks?
I don't actually know the answer to that question, Richard, but
good. That's fine too. But now it's on your radar because what you're indicating. So here's something you'll learn through the course. A lot of times when you're working with somebody, the first obstacle they throw at you is the thing that they're doing all the time that they see is going to add subterfuge to their own situation. Right. So if you get distracted with bright, shiny things, you go over here, you're really interested for 6 weeks, but then you see this thing and you go over here and without a plan, you're just, you're amalgamating a mosaic that doesn't add up to a picture. But with a plan, go over here for 6 weeks, become a semi-expert in this topic, and then come over here because you need these things to build your thing. And then you have a purpose, and then like your natural behavior. So I'm not going to try to make the bee fly straight. I just want you to get back to the hive and to the flowers, right? And right now you right? So you can zigzag, but those zigzags should have have purpose built in. So I want to take your natural activities and behavior and then help you attach the other activities to what you're doing so that you can get to where you want to go. But you also need to have a goal. One of your goal might be improve communication with people who have a 180-degree different perspective than you, and just be curious, open, listening, and then look into what they said and go back to them. Because oftentimes in these communications, these ill communications going on these days, one side, like both sides are well-intentioned, and one side will offer information and read information offered by the other party, but the other party's never looking into it and having those epiphanies that they should be having equally. And so if you continue in that relationship without any structure, it's not going to go anywhere, and it's probably going to blow up at some point because you'll get tired of doing the responsible things, and they're shirking their responsibility. So what you want to say is, hey, this topic we're talking about is really important, but we're not going to get through it right now. And there seems to be a lot of emotion. So why don't you send me everything, and I'm going to study it. I'm going to be non-emotional. I'm going to be logical. I'm going to make logical inferences from what you try to understand your position. And then you extend me the courtesy, and it might take a couple of weeks, but then we'll be able to look into this thing and search for answers together instead of against each other. And that sounds like a lot more fun, a lot less friction, a lot less energy and frustration. Which would you like to do? And let them make a choice. Now you're back talking to them instead of like 6 months goes by and you guys are like internally poisoning yourselves with the hate toxin, right? That's not good. You don't want that running through your body at any time, right? So bringing it back to how do we keep Van engaged? I think you're already like off to a great start, but you're right, man. You're like, I'm all in, and then you might burn yourself out. So how do you pace yourself, right? Like you're sprinting, you're running it like it's a 100-yard dash. And I'm like, freedom's it's not a sprint, it's a super marathon. So the idea is, how can I get as much running out every day without making myself not want to run tomorrow? Does that make sense? All right. Because if you can get yourself to show up and participate in this course, get all the value you can out of it, you're not going to have that problem in 12 weeks. You're going to say, oh, I found another way around the mountain. And instead of taking that path, you're going to take this other path. Does that make sense, man?
Yeah, absolutely, Richard. And yeah, I've been inspired by a lot of people here in this community, and the community is just so, I mean, you hear these things about how accommodating the community is, and this and that, and yeah, it's not I mean, I don't believe things until I see them for myself. But, my accounting, auditing background as well helps me. If someone says the sun's shining, I'll go look outside if it's sun shining. But yeah, I have really found the community to be really amazing, and that that's going to keep me engaged. Not that I'm outsourcing that ability to someone else, but it's a fantastic community, and it's a really amazing product that's been developed and built here. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think my issues I'm gonna have an issue staying engaged in this kind of content.
Everyone's doing some kind of self-help these days, and you can find a million self-help courses out there. Most other courses out there are hosting lectures. They're hosting videos, they're maybe even doing Q&As, and these are great starting points to encourage learning. But at AUTONOMY, we believe that hands-on practice is the best way to really lock in what we're learning. There's no better way to gain confidence and mastery than through action. After each lecture, we practice the concepts we've learned with other students, giving and receiving feedback in a non-judgmental environment. The result is mastery of concepts like entrepreneurship, ethical sales, and self-reliance in an environment that directly translates to the real world. Plus, you make connections with other like-minded individuals who are learning right alongside you, and you have a lifetime membership in the community. The AUTONOMY course with Richard Grove equips you with confidence, competence, and courage in a world filled with confusion and noise. You can learn more at getautonomy.info. We'll see you there.